Arsenal and Man City plot summer head-to-head for Newcastle's Bruno Guimaraes. Brazilian is aware of Arsenal and City's interest in what could prove a repeat of last summer's transfer battle for Declan Rice, where, like the last couple of times we beat Manchester City, we've come out on top. I would love Bruno Guimaraes, people. Big up you lot tuned in. Smash the like button. This new show business. Who wouldn't want Bruno Guimaraes? Can players at 8, players at 6, got the technical ability with the South American passion to match. And one thing that has been a massive talking point for us Arsenal fans in recent games is we've got some very nice guys. We've got some, we've got a great team ethic. We respond to resilient moments. But pardon my language, we need bastards. You look at the Invincibles, Martin Keown, Lauren, Thierry Henry, Patrick Vieira. They were nice guys. They'll help your mum and grandma with the shopping, and all of those sort of things. But they were horrible. You look at Arsenal size, Chelsea size, the City boys, Real Madrid, Barcelona, definitely. And I'm not saying they have to be monsters, 6 foot, pushing each other around, bullying people like a fat kid in school. You just got to be nasty. And I do think we need a couple of that, people. Who would you say is an S-Housery guy at Arsenal Football Club? I would say Benjamin White and Kai Havertz. We previously had Granit Xhaka. Whether we're able to sign Bruno Guimaraes, I don't know. Some say he's got a release clause of 100 million. Some say there's a verbal agreement for 80 odd million quid. Who wouldn't want to go and play under Pep Guardiola? Who wouldn't want to live in London under an exciting manager like Mikel Arteta with all the Brazilians? This shouldn't be a thing, personally, because we should have signed him when he was at Lyon. Nonetheless, people, let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button as we go forward. You would notice, people, that, this is actually on the Telegraph behind the paywall. Fortunately, the internet, there's websites you can go on to get through these things. So that's why, we're going to have to get rid of this tab and then go into a next one. But see the things I do for you lot, and you lot can't smash the like button, boost the YouTube algorithm and get the 60K train moving along. Enough waffling. Arsenal and Man City are both considering a summer move for Newcastle United midfielder Bruno Guimaraes, raising the prospect of two title chasers going head-to-head for the same player for the second year in a row. Arsenal and City battled for the signature of Declan Rice last summer, with Arsenal eventually winning the race after agreeing to pay a club record fee of 105 million to West Ham United, who could be getting a new manager. The two sides could be set for a similar situation this summer if they both decide to formalize their initial interest in Bruno, who has excelled at Newcastle since joining the club in January 2020. Telegraph Sport understands that Bruno is aware of Arsenal and City's admiration, while there's also been numerous reports linking the Brazil international with Paris Saint-Germain. Bruno is thought to have a release clause of around 100 million in his contract, although that would not necessarily prevent interested clubs from trying to strike a deal at a lower price. Naturally, why wouldn't you? We all know there is uncertainties, more so over Thomas Partey and less Jorginho, but nonetheless, there's issues over both of them and how they both tie into the long-term project. They're both very good players. Partey's barely played this season, has a year left on his deal. Jorginho apparently has a year option, but apparently the club want to give him a new contract outright, and we'll have to see what Jorginho wants to do, whether he wants to stay at Arsenal, get a payday in Saudi, go back to Brazil, or go back to Italy. We'll have to see, people. Arsenal are also hoping to improve their front line, which again, owing to financial firepower, with us being in the Champions League, with the Kroenke splashing the money of sorts and backing Arteta, you'd imagine the spending isn't going to stop there. Arteta said on Monday that he and Edu have a few ideas on what is required to take the team to the next level. If they didn't, there'd be issues, wouldn't there, people? We have to see how we finish first and what we are capable of doing, and then sit down, review everything we have done, and see how we are going to make another step or 2 steps forward. That is what this team, this club, and our people are demanding, to keep moving forward in a ruthless way, because we are not satisfied with where we're at. The article's gone on to speak about Manchester City's interest in Lucas Paqueta as well, and they've been linked with both of them. If they get both of them, that's crazy, and surely there's going to be some outgoings. That's the first article we've gone over, people. Again, if you allow me to temporarily switch screens, again, you would see, it's behind the paywall. Allegedly, though, people, moving on, Ambitious Arsenal ready to smash their transfer record. Arsenal's much anticipated on-field project is set for completion until we win titles. I wouldn't agree with that. By the start of the 2024-25 Premier League season, thanks to another record spent in the summer transfer market, football transfers has been told. Inside sources have confirmed the club's dedication to building a squad capable of rivaling Europe's finest. Led by Mikel Arteta and sporting director Edu Gaspar, the team has spent the last 3 years meticulously crafting a competitive roster aimed at securing Premier League and Champions League glory for years to come. The Gunners are getting close. Arsenal remain firmly in the hunt for the league title despite a setback against Aston Villa in their last outing, while they were narrowly eliminated from the Champions League by Bayern Munich. We know this, people, but can we get to the bulk of things? We know the Champions League, is going to give us a lot of money, a decent bit of spending, and we all know there's going to potentially be some outgoings with Reece Nelson and Nketiah, Tavares, Smith-Rowe, Cedric, Partey, maybe a couple of lenders. Wages are going to get freed up. We hope to get some transfer fees in as well. Ramsdale probably departs as well, so we have to spend, really. I do think we could, if you can find quality for £10, why not, in it? And not everyone needs to be a big money player, but for me, definitely we're up front. Unless the scouts have pulled a blinder, significant investment. Central midfield, significant investment. The wing position, the wide position, it depends on the caliber of the player or the stature they currently have in the modern game, because you could afford to maybe get someone who can help us, but not necessarily be expensive. But that will probably come with a big fee. And we're into that scenario. Declan Rice has worked out. Kai Havertz obviously looks a lot rosier at the football club than when he initially joined. But the club, it must have been an unpopular decision internally as well as within our fans to spend 65 million on Kai Havertz. Who knows? This hasn't really said anything, people. Apart from that, we're set to spend some money, and we all know we've been linked with Victor Gyökeres and things of that ilk. So the article kind of did us there, didn't it, folks? People, Arsenal are ready to launch another offensive for Vlahovic, according to the Italian media. I'm always wary of that stuff, and we all know in January 2022 the move didn't happen. Just putting you lot on notice, I've done a video about Vlahovic, so make sure this week you've got your notification bells on, because it will go live. We all know, long story short, the move didn't happen. Long story short, there's talk around him getting a new deal at Juventus. In fact, it's claimed Vlahovic was in talks with Juventus over a new contract, and that he was leaning towards an extension with the old lady. With talk of a new deal growing louder, Arsenal began focusing on different options, chief among them Victor Gyökeres. As revealed by Football Transfers, the Sporting Lisbon sharpshooter is the Gunners' number one target for the summer. Gyökeres is keen on the move. He won't come cheap due to his €100 million release clause, though Arsenal are poised for a transfer window of record spending. So again, we know we have an interest in him. Maybe Mikel Arteta would like to bring him in. The contract plays a part. We previously had interest. And we need a striker. I don't know how credible this is, because it could be a case of getting 2 and 2 and getting 1 million, people. But I would love Vlahovic for what it's worth. Italian journalists are saying that it is positive on that front. Di Natale has said, I know the contacts are positive and there are good chances of a conclusion, like for Vlahovic, for whom Arsenal is showing strong interest from England. Juventus and Vlahovic will have to find an agreement and ensure that both parties are satisfied. And Arsenal could have every intent on bringing Vlahovic. Maybe his agent and the people that rep him are using Arsenal's interest to negotiate a higher contract at Juventus. Everything has to be on the table. Vlahovic himself has spoken. He said, I'm under contract at Juventus for 2 more years. I'm very happy here. I want to win some important trophies at Juventus. PSG or Chelsea, I've heard the rumours, but I was not even interested in those stories. Now, you could take that for he wants to stay at Juventus and create a legacy in history. You could also accept that as, unless there's been official bids on the table or offers to tempt him away from Italy, there's no point adding fuel to the fire for speculation. But there you have it. And, Chelsea and Paris Saint-Germain both been linked with Osimhen. Chelsea and Arsenal seem to get linked with the same strikers all the time. So everybody's looking for a striker this summer, allegedly. Apparently, we're looking for another new Norwegian talent, people. And he is quite, I can't say his name, but he is quite decent, this 17-year-old. Arsenal, Man City, and Manchester United all have 17-year-old Rosenborg midfielder Suave Hulseth Napan, forgive me, on their list. Apparently, his style of play has been likened to that of fellow Norwegian Martin Odegaard, in which, bring him to the carpet, but he couldn't sign for us until he turns 18. We have been linked once upon a time with Vittorio Martinez. Those links have gone dead. Nonetheless, Romano has said, people, in relation to Vittorio Martinez, he's apparently said, the striker, we have to find an agreement with the club. I'm super happy now. It's time to celebrate. I hope it will happen. And apparently the Chiefs at Inter have come out and said by the start of next season, him and Barella, another player I'd love at the carpet, will be tied up, or that's the aim. We've gone over Man City and Arsenal attempting to sign Bruno Guimaraes. Pep Guardiola's contract, Luis Enrique and Mikel Arteta's contract all end in 2025. One option for Barcelona is for Xavi to stay on next season, and it's quite a circus in that regards, and assess those options. I know Pep said he'll never go back to Barca, but it means you get out of City. Please go back over there. And I only mention this because that means the Mikel Arteta rumours are not going anywhere in relation to a potential departure to Barcelona. Although I don't have any data of this, but I would say by the time next season starts, it will be announced that he signed a new deal. I don't think Arsenal Football Club are going to go into next season, which will be 2024-25, with our manager with a year left on his deal. Going into that season, it's going to add fuel to the fire for speculation, dependent on results. Obviously, the nature of the beast is football. Anyone can get sacked at any time, but to potential targets we're talking to or have spoken to already, if you know the manager isn't here for a long term, it's not that there's not attractions to the football club, but you might think twice. And, Saka, Odegaard, Saliba, many players have signed new deals. Benjamin White and Tomiyasu are recent. Timber's just got in the door, and we haven't done anything of significance. We're building something great. The project isn't done. Now, Arteta's going to have admirers, and as much as he's come to love Arsenal, it's a job, and you've got to do what needs to be done. But I think it's safe to say he'll be all right for a while, people. Again, the Gyökeres rumours and all these things won't go away. Jurriën Timber, who I've done a video on, people, has spoken about his return to playing football again, and he scored a lovely goal. He was out for 254 days with an ACL problem, people. The 22-year-old got 45 minutes against Blackburn Rovers under-21s and scored a terrific finish. He definitely watches my channel, people, and it was his first competitive performance. So tonight, nice to know he got 45 minutes under his belt. At the time of making this video, he's not going to be involved against Chelsea. Optimistic, on 100, you hope he's involved in some capacity against Spurs, but you would imagine Man United, Everton, Bournemouth, those are more realistic in the last 3 fixtures, if that. And I'm not even saying he'll get 90 minutes. But he said, I still don't know how to feel, but just being out there feels amazing. Even now, it feels strange for me. It's amazing. It's been 8 months. Didn't look like it based on what we saw, man. I feel happy, feel blessed to be out there. It was nice scoring a goal as well. Even that felt strange. I didn't realize I was even scoring a goal because I don't score a lot. Maybe that's changed since my rehab. Hopefully, big up the left backs at the club at the moment, but that's your spot, man. Let's see. But it felt amazing. It felt like everything we worked for in 8 months out. Fair enough. Big him up, people. He said he can't wait to be in and around the first team. He said, I think we're doing really well. The last couple of weeks have been tough, obviously at the Champions League, but we're still in the mix. We're still there. I'm glad that I can be part of it, and let's see what the last couple of weeks can bring. I hope something beautiful. It would be nice, man. And technically, we wouldn't get a Premier League medal if we go and do that. Gabriel has spoken, people. I won't bore you lot with that. That was my own thing. Apparently, Arsenal are ready to ditch their badge in a dramatic kit redesign, people. Apparently, we're staying with the crest, better yet, the cannon for next season. So we'll have to see how how that goes. Almost got tongue-tied there. And again, Bruno Guimaraes' camp has allegedly been contacted by Arsenal in relation to a potential summer move. Let me know your thoughts. Are you keen on Bruno Guimaraes? Would you be against it? Where are you at with Gyökeres and Vlahovic? What do you think the impact Timber could have of what's left of this season and actually years beyond? Let me know all your thoughts. Check out the rest of the other videos. And most importantly, thank you for tuning in. Stay safe, stay blessed. Any other news and whatnot, I'll be alert to get videos out or live streams out for you lot. But for now, peace.